This was supposed to be the movie where Christopher Nolan was ended. The myth of Chris was supposed to fall. It was supposed to be his destruction. Well, they miscalculated, they misjudged, they got it wrong. The Odyssey is a knockout. It silences the critics, destroys the doubters, and breaks the internet. Here's why Nolan has hit a Homer home run. Matt Damon runs more than Tom Cruise. The movie is one long shot of Matt moving from mortal danger into the arms of immortal Athena. The ancient Greek goddess of wisdom and warfare is wisely played by Zendaya, a woman who has now been in more films than Jenna Jameson. The Odyssey, Spider-Man, Dune 3, perhaps she is short of money. A female Pedro Pascal, there is no movie she will pass at all. Her character is beauty and power, and she never passes up the chance to deflower Odysseus.
You're a fucking greedy whore!
Because it's a good dream! Got cool animals in it and some pretty great people too!
Whether he's sacking Troy or trying to remember his past, she's there to annoy or blast his ass. Matt Damon will wish he stayed on Mars. It is little wonder his character always questions the gods. Athena, a woman who gives rise to atheism. Tom Holland is Telemachus, a little boy lost who pines for his father's return. He sounds like Bart Simpson.
My dad is coming home.
When he really should sound like Homer.
Homer!
Daddy.
Homer!
Daddy.
If not for his daddy coming home, Batman would bang his mom and send him to his tomb. Spider-Man here is neither spider nor man. He's not even Madame. He's a limp-wristed pleb who gets bullied instead. The Spider-Man vs. Batman debate is over. Spider-Man is Batman's bitch. Odysseus' right-hand man is Himesh Patel. Is that him from yesterday? Yes it is, and no, Nolan will not rue the day. Patel gets a pat on the back, for he's fully believable as an ancient Greek warrior battle-axe. Nolan has done the remarkable. No one will remark on his diverse cast. If Chris had directed yesterday, John Lennon would have been played by John Legend. The Odyssey deserves a diploma in diversity and a PhD in political engineering. It's so clever, you'll think ancient Greece looked like a ride on the London Underground. The opening shot of the movie will open your eyes. Travis Scott is the bard. If a picture says 1,000 words, all of these will be 4 letters, beginning with F. Fine. Nothing immerses you in an ancient film faster than a cameo from a modern-day rapper. What was Chris thinking? It's easy. The story will bring in the parents, Scott will bring in the kids. Marketing masterstroke. When the first trailer dropped, people dropped to their knees. Helen of Troy? Are you trolling? She's the most beautiful woman in the world. How can a modern movie cut the mustard with a mythological cardboard cutout? Yet Nolan does the unthinkable. He gives Helen the ability to think.
You're the motherfucking emperor!
In every scene, the queen screams at her husband Menelaus, the obscene. The world sees her as Helen of Troy. He sees her as hella annoying. The dream wife. Menelaus is living a nightmare, constantly checking Tinder to lay with other women or men. Nolan has successfully created a Helen no man would want. A cinematic subterfuge, but history's most famous beauty finally has substance.
Motherfuckers.
She's no Mona Lisa or a marbled goddess. She's a moaning real woman, and audiences will be moaning in delight. A film still that erupted the internet like Pompeii. Elliot Page, a Greek warrior, but Chris in his genius writes a new chapter. This isn't Sparta, but a day at the spa with a man who acts like Peter Pan and looks like Wendy. Page's Sinon hits one note, but it hits it so hard you'll leave the theatre like the guy in Memento. Sinon, is that the one? Elliot Page is Elaine Page. By casting the odd one, the focus is on Odysseus. Elliot's Page shredded. Cyclops. The scene in the cave is a true nightmare. He looks like a big Bill Burr not wearing underwear. It's a reverse Jurassic Park. Gone is long-necked wonder, now it's one-eyed wanker. The film proves that the greatest horror isn't dinosaurs or a killer clown, but one giant white man with his pants down. The men on the poster, the last Dragonians, scary in stills but in motion move like the Cybermen. They're big and bad, tin men turned cannibal, yet have the speed of Austin Powers in a cannonball run. In Homer's The Odyssey, they hurl boulders atop cliff faces. In Nolan's movie, they are rocks moving through Death Valley. It's easy to see why they are called Lastragonians. They are always the last to go. Odysseus' toughest foe in the original feels like a brief cameo, for Nolan serves up a much worse spectre. Come here, my pretties! The Odyssey was ahead of its time. While Odysseus is out hunting, his men are invited to supper with a wicked old witch who has superpowers. Circe poisons their food and turns them into pigs, symbolism to make men weep and women roar. Swine, the true character of men and their destiny to serve women. If Homer was around today, he'd have been writing for Kathleen Kennedy. Upon freeing his men, Odysseus and his crew flee, but to get home they must pass the sirens. Songstress human-headed seabirds who sing a song so foul, any man who hears it goes 6 feet under. The men plug their ears with wax, the same exact sensation the audience has felt trying to hear Christopher Nolan's dialogue. Odysseus is voluntarily tied to the ship's mast. He wants to hear the siren's song. His face retches, his heart breaks, but he perseveres. Any man who has spent more than 5 minutes with Helen of Troy has already passed this test.
Do I look like a fucking idiot that I'm gonna believe you? You got her drunk and you stole the fucking dog! Oh!
The monster's whirlpool. Charybdis. Unleash the Kraken. The sea dragon cracks a few necks before Damon and his disciples land on Thynesea, the island of the sun god. The men are free to make themselves home, but there's just one rule. No meat. Helios, the sun god, is a super progressive vegan. Touch the cows and he'll turn you into mincemeat, courtesy of a call to his best mate Poseidon. Odysseus warns them, these are vegan isles, but the men cannot deny their carnivorous urges. They sink their teeth into beef patties before the god of the sea sinks their ship. Matt Damon, as on Mars, is on Earth, last vegan standing. Upon returning as Robin Hood to bring good back to his kingdom and park Peter on the throne, Odysseus is left to reflect, not on his triumphs, his conquests, or how oddly diverse his ancient world has become, but on his evil, his tyranny. There's no happy ending. He looks back on his invasion of Troy with deep sorrow. Like Oppenheimer, he has brought about the end of civilization. Men should make peace, not war. All you need is love. Nolan's climax is an orgasm of the senses, an ejaculation of the heart. Everyone leaving the theatre will cry out in one voice.
Here again, you are. Wow. What is it good for? Absolutely not. Everybody knows war. Who?
Thank you, Chris, for your genius. We were wrong, you were right. 5 stars for a star-filled, diverse, hard-to-hear dialogue masterpiece.